You may have had a non-dual experience, but you lost it. It was so beautiful. You felt free. You recognize in that instant what's the meaning of life, what's the meaning of your life, and what it means to be truly happy. But you lost it. And worst, you realize that your old problems were back there again. And you may have tried to go back to that experience, and you certainly fail. You may have learned a lot and improved a lot, but you still don't find that level of sensitivity, of magic and fascination, of freedom that will make life so sacred. But let me support you. Let me tell you that many people have been there before you and me. So, good news, there's a plethora of information. Actually, that's the problem. There's so much information can be misleading. So, what I'm suggesting you is that you have a multiple aspect approach to your practice, meaning that you have to be taking care of different parts of your practice. Otherwise, your mind will change from one teaching to another problem, to another thing in your life. Suddenly, after succeeding, a typical thing that happens a lot, that when you actually succeed and you make real progress in meditation, suddenly you get very much interested in something about the world. Some things start going really good or really bad, but the point is that you get out of what you were doing. This is a classical one. Another one is that you just change teachings, and you've been doing that kind of meditation with that teacher, and now you're into these other teachings with this other kind of meditations, and you're always kind of excited with a new toy. That's another way we self-sabotage. So the only way to, when you go around enough and you at some point start realizing, okay, I want the real deal. I'm ready, I'm open. I will do whatever it takes. And when you have a more humble openness to responsibility, to take care of everything in your life, not just pursuing an interesting experience, but to truly integrate the peace and joy in your life. Then you realize that, again, if you go to the classical teachings, you're going to have this manifold path. In yoga, you have the 8 limbs. In Buddhism, you have the Eightfold Path. And I would say this is probably 2 of the best ones, my opinion. Best in the sense they are clearer, but literally anyone can do it. I mean, any path can do it. So you don't need to become a Buddhist or do yoga poses or anything like that. You just need to be curious and learn from the experience of people who've been before you doing the same thing that you're doing. And again, what these people figure out over thousands of years is that how to solve this problem of being all around and being chasing. So basically, when you're mature enough, when you're ready to give up everything and do whatever you have to do, then you realize that you have to take care of different aspects of your life. So in all these paths, what they say, the first thing before trying to get any deeper, make peace with the world. There shouldn't be violence in your life. There shouldn't be big dramas in your life. You should be able to take care of yourself. You should be responsible enough to take care of your health, of your body, and not having, let's say, addictions or some sort of mental disorders that people have nowadays that are very common. So you should definitely always deal with that. As much as sometimes you have a glimpse, yeah, but that won't let you go deeper. So you want to spend, let's say, time or attention into these fields of the regular, just be fine with the world, with yourself, with your body. Then when you are at peace and you have a normal, regular, responsible, hopefully not boring, but you know what I mean. When there's no much problem, it seems like just a normal life, no big deal, then you're actually kind of ready to sit and do a bit of a deeper work. But then you find that your mind is too busy that your mind is too stimulated, that is restless, that is distracted. And that's a huge problem. I would say that's the number one problem for anyone attempting to meditate, attempting to deeply root in the understanding of what you are and tapping into this freedom. So a busy mind, what do you do? Well, many traditions have very clever, functional, straightforward ways to about it, like mantras, prayers, things that will put your mind with a task and they will kind of cancel all the noise. And that works, but it still is kind of superficial. A deeper version of that teachings of this aspect of the practice is what they have in yoga when they focus their mind in an object. In Buddhism, I especially like in Tibetan Buddhism, the Elephant Path, where they have 10 stages about how you progress from a very busy mind to a very calm mind, to the point that your mind can, even if you get good at this, your mind can be completely still, meaning that you will be here 100%. But I have a good news for you. You don't need to do that. That's just an extra power you can develop if you're interested. But the important thing is that you have a mind that is calm enough to be doing what you're doing, whatever kind of teaching you're following or meditation, 100% of the time for the 10, 15, half an hour, 1 hour you set aside to practice, whatever is the practice. Even when it's a practice that's integrated with normal life, you are 100% of the time remembering what you're doing. You're not lost in thought. You're not distracted. That's the access point. Because only when you have that possibility, it will be possible to understand certain things. You need to have certain momentum of stability in your attention to see the solution, to see the subtle aspects of your experience, which are the ones who are sort of slaving you, certain assumptions we have and interpretations we have about the external world in our life. It's driving us crazy, but we're all the time in our own delusion. So if your mind not stable, don't go hard on this. It's not going to work. So make sure that your life is fine. Make sure that your mind is calm. And then you will be able to get more from investigating your experience. In Buddhism, they call it investigating the 3 characteristics. The 3 characteristics are, first one is I'm going to change the order and I'm going to completely paraphrase. But the first thing is to notice that everything your experience is coming and going. And the more you abide in there, the more you can start getting this kind of liberating feeling that, everything is a state of flux. Everything comes and goes. There's a certain of, you don't take things so seriously. It's like a level, let's say, to abide in there. Again, not going to stay long if you don't have a stable mind. Another aspect, another characteristic of experience is that when you start abiding in there, in this state of flow, you will start noticing that there is no the solid you. Your thoughts will have shrunken. Mental activity has shrunken to just basic practical thinking, maybe at most. And then you will just notice there is no sense of you as you thought, like with your name, with your story, with your pride, with your worries, with your fears, with your past. And suddenly the you that is there is just a functional presence. So in Buddhism, they say there is no self. That's the way they express it. And there's no solid self. There's not the thing you think you are. And the third mark of experience, again, I'm changing the order. It will be to notice that when you're there, you notice that actually your experience is experiencing sensory experience is not as satisfactory as we think it is. We tend to think that pleasure, we are avoiding pain and looking for pleasure in experience, but that cannot happen, my friend. That cannot happen. It is always fleeting. It seems to be satisfying for a little bit and then it disappears. An ice cream, vacations, holidays this experience, that experience. It just, everything goes. So at some point you realize that's not good enough. So it's very important to realize that 100% in your experience, moment by moment. Otherwise, it's not possible to leap over. And this is not something you do. This is something that happens to you when you are doing these things that I was mentioned before. When you're observing your moment, your experience right now. I don't want to make it more complicated than that. But at the same time, I don't want to delude anyone that just by just being here and now is enough. It's not going to be enough. I hope it would be enough for you, but most likely it's just not going to be. But anyway, so at some point you're able to do all these subtle practices about observing your moment by moment experience, that there is no separation between you and the world, that there is no you, that there is, the things come and go. At some point, certain kind of flavor, certain depths start appearing, and you become conductive to actually connect. You never disconnected, but it feels like you finally you go back to be who you really are, and life just shines again. And you go back to that place, and it goes even way deeper. It's way better than you ever could have imagined or remember. And that's non-duality. There are a lot of things about that experience, but I'm not going to talk about it. There's a lot of videos about it, but let's say that is everything you want. Everything you're looking for in the world is not in the world. Then non-duality per se, it goes beyond perception. It goes beyond you. It goes beyond the world. I just see it's difficult to talk about it, but it's your nature. And it is there in the background of your experience always. We don't have access to that spontaneous joy, that deep love. We don't have access to it because our attention is trapped in all these things that I was just discussing. So calm your life, calm your mind, see what it is, and start over again, over again. You will become better and better at it, and it will happen to you. This is not just that you have to try to make yourself enlightened, or the inquiry sometimes is like too hard. You're trying too hard. No, just do what you just surrender by become lucid in the dream by noticing the subtle aspects of the dream. And lucidity will happen to you. It's not that it will happen to you. It is already happening to you. It's not even happening because it's always the case. So it's not that happening. But you see, words are becoming a bit slippery right now. And this is, for me, the word is peace and love. Peace and love. That's what that's what your experience should be from anything that happens to you in your life. I know that sounds like a huge standard, but I'm saying don't stand for anything less than what you deserve. And you know deep in your heart that you deserve love and peace all the time, always. So don't settle for just a normal life. Live a fascinating now, always. You may have to do things about it. Enlightened beings, they did practice. They did just practice something they wouldn't tell other people. But as long as there is a body and there is a mind, there is a practice. There's no shame on that. As I said, the most advanced beings, they also practice the fundamentals. So there's no shame in having a good relationship with the world, calming your mind, having a normal general health is an act of love to yourself and to the world. And only from there, by releasing the stress in different layers of your being, then you just remove the blockage and the light is there. The peace is there. The beauty is there. So you're never missing anything because all the time it is there. And you deserve to live always like that. And don't worry if you're not, that's okay. Just be honest to yourself. Just practice, keep practicing. Something's gonna click. So humble down to yourself. Commit yourself to your own practice, whatever it is, whatever you choose. But definitely make it happen by surrendering all the aspects of your life, not just physical, but also mental. Surrender everything. Make your own rituals to surrender your fears. And until you rest in what is and trust in perfect completion. I could be talking for hours like this, but it's not necessary. You know what I mean? You are there already. I hope you got value from this video. I hope you did. And I really mean every word I say. I'm not here just to have a controversial video and become an influencer on YouTube or something like that. I don't care about that. I care about real change, lasting real change in people. That's what I'm here for. So I take the responsibility of saying all these big words of lasting happiness and peace and nirvana and non-duality. Call it whatever you want. So I take the responsibility of pushing people in that direction, because the truth is that most people would experience with generic teachings like books or videos like this, they will experience a certain amount of a taste of it, but you just go back into the old patterns, because there are things, there are shadows in our life, things we don't notice that bring us back to certain patterns at work, relationships, money, health, your past, your future. There's certain specifics about yourself. So these teachings can be way more effective if they are done one-on-one. And that traditionally, when someone would be maybe in the position like yourself to realize this is the most important thing that you can do in your life, because there is no life that can be lived fully without that state of peace, that state of understanding. Nothing you could do would make any sense. When people would realize that, they would just reach out to a teacher. They would just move out of their village and they will look for someone who could teach them, someone who seemed to have to realize that, and they are living from there, and they will ask for help. Well, I've been meditating for more than 30 years. I have more than 15,000 hours of actually sitting to meditate. I work with world-class teachers one-on-one, and I want to extend this offering to you. So if you're ready to get real, what I'm offering you as a gesture of goodwill is a free call between you and me, no commitment. You just explain me what your case is, and I will try to give you something of value right away. And we will see if we are a match, and we may take a coaching together or not. That's okay. It doesn't matter to me. The important thing is I reach out and I'm taking responsibility to actually help you. I care more about helping one person than reaching out 1 million people on YouTube. So if you feel that that is you, that you're ready to get real and integrate non-duality, nirvana, heaven, lasting love, excitement, and peace in your life for real, if you know that's a real possibility for you and you're ready, then just go to my website, ricardcoach.com, and send me a message. Hey, I'm here. I think I'm ready. And we will have this free, no commitment introductory call where you explain me what is your situation. Now, hopefully we'll give you already something of value, and we'll check if there is need or if there is value in keep on working together, if we are a match. So just go for it. Don't think about it. I don't buy it. And yeah, you get what I mean, right? From heart to heart. I've been there. And I want you to really fully live what you know you can live, that what you deserve, what you can be experiencing in every moment. I hope you're ready. I hope you recognize that, and by this mean or any mean, take whatever action or non-action you need to free yourself.